Hello. Oh, happy Halloween. Dumb commercial. Sorry. Commercial first. There's no skip. First show is a skip with everyone. Well, main part is happy Halloween. And yes, I got dried up hair. Oh, it's supposed to be Jack Skellington, but I look more like Jeff the Killer and Jack Skellington combined. Oops. I did do some blood. Scare a few people. Yeah. I got an axe. I painted it. I want any blood on it. Yeah. I cranked it up. I cranked it down because a few people are sleeping. Yeah. Main part is happy Halloween. And big shout out to Hot Topic and the Spirit Halloween store. And I'm not really professional channel yet, but still. And I have a DeviantArt account. Meow10123. Yeah, that's my username, and you could come follow me if you like. No, it's really up to you, basically. No, really like using hello video. YouTube. I'm going to post on YouTube.
Are people seeing this?
No, it's not live. I'm going to post on YouTube. Oh yeah, Nikki needs a boyfriend, so if you want to volunteer. I'm kidding. You don't need to do that, no. Main part is happy Halloween. And the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episode. Very funny, and a catch that Raph almost said the F word and stuff up. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Sorry for the language, but he almost said that. It was funny. Yeah, Donnie stopped him. Last time, Cry stopped him. Or Leo. Actually, I think both of them did. With the 4 trap thing. And the other one I can't remember. Yeah. And I hope all of you had a good Halloween. Don't get sick on candy. Yeah. All of you guys get a very good Halloween. So, hope you guys do that. And I think you noticed with my shirt. Didn't mean it. Get all over my shirt. Oh! Ooh, sorry. Sorry, you saw that. To girls that are watching this, you know what that was. And to the guys, you learn. You learn.
What's this?
The color everywhere. No, really, there's no color in my school. Black and white theme. No, this way is creepy, but still. And on Twitter, my name is Vine the Dog. And you could go follow me on there. And, as you see, if you go on there, you'll see the hashtag Ghost Adventures get 'em. It was for the newest episode, the 2-hour special Deadwood. Like I said, that you could go on Twitter, do hashtag Ghost Adventures, and you could. There was a small part where a ghost said something, and they can't really figure out what it says, and and you have to listen carefully, and you hashtag Ghost Adventures and type in what you saw. And I said, get him, because it kind of hurt that. Kind of faint and mushed in, but I heard that. Yeah. I bet millions of people did that, I guess. I was probably one of the few that did it first. Probably, I don't know. Probably like the 20th or something like that. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to just read scary stuff. And this, big shout out to this book. I can't really see it because it says Scary Stories 3, More Tales to Chill Your Bones. And the book is by Alvin C.S. Let me start over with the last name. Sorry. S-C-H-W-A-R-D-Z. It's really cool. Check it out. I recommend it, and with all of the books. I haven't seen the second one, but I've seen the first one. It's really cool. Ah! No, Pandora!
Hey man, hand me on the Swedish fish. No! How do we go back, man? I'm not sure, but we gotta get back. Swedish fish.
Ew. Ready?
Absolutely.
I'm not doing this commercial. Right, this might be a bit long. So, boom, man. The girl was late getting home for supper, so she took a shortcut through with the cemetery. But it made her nervous. She saw another girl ahead of her. She hurried to catch up. Do you mind if I walk with you? She asked. Walking through the cemetery at night scares me. I know what you mean, the other girl said. I used to feel that way, even myself when I was alive. And are all short of things that scare us. The dead scare us. For one day we will be dead, like they are. The dark scare us, for we don't know what is waiting in the dark. At night, the sound of leaves rustling or branches groaning, or something whispering makes us uneasy. So do footsteps coming closer, so do strange figures. We think we see the shadows, a human maybe, or a big animal, or something horrible. thing we could barely make out. People call these creatures we think we see boomen. Imagine when they say, but it now and then a booman turns out to be real. Queer happenings scare us too. We hear of a boy or a girl who is raised by an animal, a being like us, who yelps and howls and runs on all fours. The thought of it makes our flesh crawl. We hear of insects that make their nests in a person's body, or of a nightmare that comes true, and we shudder. If such things really do happen, then they could happen to us. If it is the form such fears that scary stories grow. This is the third book of such stories. Oven such warts have collected. Alvin learned some of them of people Alvin met. Alvin... Oh, crap. Sorry, I thought that was a story. It wasn't. Oops. Now wasted that good voice for nothing. Alright, I'm going to find another one. Yeah. The bus stop. This bus stop's everywhere, you know. Faster and faster. Just fish. Hello, Kate! The black dog. Alright, I will read some. The black dog. It was 11 o'clock at night. Peter Rothberg. Oh, I lost a page. Sorry. I'm going to start over. Sorry with reading. There is a lot of mess ups. Sorry. Don't blame me. I'm a good reader. I promise. On my mother's grave. Even though she's not dead, I still would. Right. The black dog. It was 11 o'clock at night. Peter Rothberg was in bed on the second floor of the old house where he lived alone. It had gotten so chilly, he went downstairs to turn up the heat. As Peter was on his way back to bed, a black dog ran downstairs, past him, and disappeared into the darkness. Where did you come from? Peter said. He had never seen the dog before. He turned on all the lights, looked in every room. He could not find the dog anywhere. He went outside and brought in two watchdogs he kept in the backyard, but they acted as if they were the only dogs in the house. He went outside and... The next night, again at 11 o'clock, Peter was in his bedroom. He heard it sounded like a dog walking around in the room above him. He dashed upstairs and threw open the door. The room was empty. He looked under the bed. He looked in the closet. Nothing. But when he got back to his room, he heard a dog running down the stairs. It was the black dog. He tried to follow it, but again, he could not find where it has gone. From then on, every night at 11, Peter heard the dog walking in the room above him. The room was always empty, but after he left, the dog would come out of hiding, run down the stairs, and disappear. One night, Peter's neighbor waited with him for the dog. dog. At the usual time, they heard it above them. Then they heard it on the stairs. Then they went out into the hall. It was standing in front, at the foot of the stairs, looking up at them. And neighbor whistled, and the dog wagged its tail. Then it was gone. Things went on this way, right until the night Peter decided to bring his watchdogs into the house again. Maybe this time they would find the black dog and drive it away. Just before 11, he took them up to his room and left the door open. Then he heard the black dog moving around above him. His dogs pricked up their ears and ran to the door. Suddenly, they bared their teeth and snarled and backed away. Peter could not see the black dog or hear it, but he was sure that it had entered his room. His dogs barked and snapped. They darted forward nervously, then backed away again. Suddenly, one of them yelped. It began bleeding, then dropped to the floor. Its neck torn open. A minute later, it was dead. Peter's other dog backed into a corner, whimpering. Then everything was still. The next night, Peter's neighbor came back with a pistol. Then they waited in his bedroom. At 11 o'clock, the black dog came down the stairs. As before, it looked up at them and wagged its tail. And they started toward it with the pistol. It growled and disappeared. That was when the last Peter saw of the black dog. It did not mean that the dog was gone. Now and then, always at 11, he heard it moving around above him. Once he heard it running downstairs. He never managed to see it again, but he knew that it was there. Okay, I read it creepy, but that was good. Oh! Ooh. Oh my god! Look at that picture. And that is creepy. It looks like my grandma a little bit, just a little bit, tiny. Alright. Personally, I kind of like this picture. I don't know why. Kind of cool. Yeah, creepy. Alright, I'm gonna read my personal favorite called Strangers. And I just love the way he looks. And the way his hair stands up. It's like those cartoons, like the really cartoon ones, like Looney Tunes, when your hair stands up, like when you see that your hair is standing on the edge or something like that. And it's called Strangers. A man and a woman happened to sit next to one another on the train. The woman took out a book and began to read. The train stopped at a half-dozen stations, but she never looked up once. The man watched her for a while, then asked, "What are you reading?" "It's a ghost story," she said. "It's very good, very spooky." "Do you believe in ghosts?" he asked. "Yes, I do," she replied. "There are ghosts everywhere." "I don't believe in them," he said. "It's just a lot of superstition in all my years. I've never seen a ghost, not once." "Haven't you?" the woman said, and vanished. Yeah, that was cool. I like that one. Yeah, it's mysterious, yeah, spooky, and awesome. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just seeing about my makeup in the mirror. Ooh. Alright, here's another one that I didn't read. And, there's two pictures. A picture of a old grandfather clock. And in the door with a number 505. Alright. Maybe you will remember. Miss Gibbs and her 16-year-old daughter, Rosemary, arrived in Paris on a hot morning in July. They had been on a vacation and now they were returning home, but Miss Gibbs did not feel well, so they decided to rest in Paris for a few days before going on. The city was crowded with tourists. Still, they found a place to stay at a good hotel. They had a lovely room overlooking a park. It had yellow walls, a blue carpet, and white furniture. As soon as they unpacked, Miss Gibbs went to bed. She looked so pale that Rosemary asked to have the hotel doctor examine her. Rosemary did not speak French, but fortunately, the doctor, spoke English. He took one look at Miss Gibbs and said, "Your mother is too sick to travel. Tomorrow I'll move her to a hospital, but she needs a certain medicine. If you go to my home for it, it will save time." The doctor said he did not make a telephone right now. Instead, he would give Rosemary a note for his wife. The hotel manager put Mary in a taxi and, in French, told the driver to find the doctor's house. "It will only take a little while," he told her. "And the taxi will bring you back." But as the driver slowly drove up one street and down another, it seemed to take forever. But at one point, Rosemary was sure they had gone down the same street twice. It took almost as long for the doctor's wife to answer the door to get the medicine ready. As Rosemary sat on a bench in the empty waiting room, she kept thinking, "Why can't you hurry? Please hurry." She heard a telephone ring somewhere in the house, but the doctor had told her he didn't have a telephone right now. What was going on? They drove back as slowly as they came crawling up one street and down another. Rosemary sat in the back seat, filled with dread, her mother's medicine clutched in her hand. But why was everything taking so long? She was sure the taxi driver was going in the wrong direction. "Are you going to the right hotel?" she asked. He didn't answer. She asked again, but still he didn't reply. When he stopped for a traffic light, she threw open the door and ran from the cab. She stopped a woman on the street. The woman did not speak English, but she knew someone who did. Rosemary was right. They had been driving in the wrong direction. When she finally got back to the hotel, it was early evening. She went up the desk. Clerk has given them their room. "I'm Rosemary Gibbs," she said. "My mother and I are in room 505. May I have the key?" The clerk looked at her closely. "You must be mistaken," she said. "There's another guest in that room. Are you sure you are in the right hotel?" He turned to help someone else. She waited until he was finished. You give us that room yourself when we arrived this morning," she said. "How could you forget?" He stared at her as if she lost her mind. "You must be mistaken," she said. "I have never seen you before. Are you sure you are in the right hotel?" She asked to see the restriction card they had filled out when they arrived. "It's June and Rosemary Gibbs," she said. The clerk looked in the file. "We have no card for you," he said. "It must be in the wrong hotel. The hotel doctor will know me," Rosemary replied. He examined examined my mother when we arrived. He sent me for medicine she needs. I went to see him. The doctor came downstairs. Here's the medicine from my mother, Rosemary said, holding it out to him. Your wife gave it to me. And I have never seen you before, he said. It must be the wrong hotel. She asked for the hotel manager, who had put her in the taxi. Surely he would remember her. It must be in the wrong hotel, he said. Let me give you a room where you can rest, and maybe you will remember where you and your mother are staying. I want to see our room, Rosemary said, raising her voice. It's room 505, but it was nothing like the room she remembered. It had double bed, not twin beds. The furniture was black, not white. The carpet was green, not blue. There was someone else's clothing in the closet. The room she knew had vanished, and so had her mother. This is not the room, she said. Where's my mother? What have you done with her? You are in the wrong hotel, the mother. You are in the wrong hotel, the manager said patiently, as if he were speaking to a young child. Rosemary asked to see the police. My mother or our things, the room. They had all disappeared, she told them. Are you sure you're in the right hotel? They asked. She went to her embassy for help. Are you sure it is the right hotel? They asked. Rosemary thought she was losing her mind. Why don't you rest here for a while? They said. Then maybe you'll remember. But Rosemary's problem was not her memory. It was what she did not know. Page 102. 102. Where's 102? Find the page. Oh yeah, I remember this. I kind of like the house. Folklore. This scary Ellen Fine suggests that the story. If the word got out that a woman had died, if the plague in the heart of Paris, there would be a panic. People in the hotel and elsewhere would rush to escape. The doctor knew that the hotel's owners expected. He was to keep the case a secret, otherwise they would lose lots of money. To get Rosemary out of the way, doctor sent her to the other side of Paris for some worthless medicine. As she expected, Miss Gibbs died soon after she left. Her body was smuggled out of the hotel to the cemetery where it was burned. A team of workmen quickly repainted the room and replaced everything in it. The desk clerks were ordered to tell Rosemary that she was in the wrong hotel, that when she insisted on seeing her room, it had become a different place, and, of course, her mother had vanished, and all of the involved were warned that would lose their jobs if they give away the secret. To avoid panic in the city, the police and the newspapers agreed to say nothing of the death. No police reports were filed. No news stories appeared. It was as if Rosemary's mother and room had never existed. In another version of the story, Rosemary and her mother had separate rooms. Miss Gibbs died during the night while Rosemary was asleep. Her body was removed, then her room was repainted and refurnished, refurnitured. When Rosemary could not find her mother the next morning, she was told that her mother was not with her when she checked in. After many months of searching, a friend, a relative, or the young woman herself finds someone who works in the hotel and, for a bribe, reveals what happened. This legend was based off the movie So Long at the Fair. It appeared in 1950. The story also inspired 2 novels. Okay, I hope this story chilled your bones. Yeah, I liked it. So, happy Halloween all. Oh yeah, I'm not doing it on the computer. On my tablet. Okay, bye.